Hello everyone, it's Dina, aka Get a Girl, and I'm in the middle of doing a project and I thought why not show you guys what I'm working on and step you through because maybe you'd like to see it and maybe you would like to replicate it as well. I'm getting my inspiration from Papercrafter 45. Her video is dated October 2015 and I thought why not do one for 2018 and show my subbies what I'm doing. So I'll link her YouTube video below so that way she gets credit for it because it's definitely not my idea. And the reason why I'm working on this project is for a swap, of course. You know me, I like to do my swaps. Keeps my creative mojo going. And so I thought, I was doing several of them and I thought why not show my subbies? So here I am doing that. And what it is a simple trifold insert is what she calls it. And this is pretty plain. It's not decorated. What I thought I would do is show you how to make one with some measurements, and then I'll do a second video showing you my finished project. This is a Valentine project. It is a savory and sweet trifold insert, and what we're supposed to be doing with this particular swap is putting in 3 favorite holiday recipes. So I don't normally celebrate Valentine's with recipes and so forth, but I know that I have some favorites as far as overall all year long, so I'll just include those. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So let's get started. Oh, here, this is what it looks like opened. This would be cool to just give it as is, like a decorative card. You could send it as a card. You could do like a little mini album. You could insert this in a journal of some sort. And yeah, I think it's pretty useful. I mean, you could definitely let your creative juices go. And there's a pocket here, and there's one here, another one here, here, and here. Okay, and then you can also put some more pockets on any of these sides if you wanted to as well. Okay, I haven't decided exactly what I'm doing yet, but that's why that's going into a second video. Okay, so what I use for my project is some sort of adhesive. You could use liquid glue if you want, not really liquid glue, maybe like 3-in-1 beacons. I like to use my ATG gun, some sort of edge punch. I'm going to use a Fiskars, my bone folder, scissors, my stapler. You need 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11. This is just 65-pound weight, paper trimmer, and a scoreboard. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut our papers. So on the 8.5 by 11 side, you're going to cut this to 5 1/4. Okay, and the other 2 sheets, you're going to turn it to the 11-inch side and you're going to cut this down to 9 inches. One and number 2. Okay, next we're going to grab our scoreboard. And on the 5 1/4 inch side, actually let's flip this around. On the 11-inch side, go ahead and score that to 6 inches. Flip it around to the 5 1/4 side. You're going to do a 1/2 inch to the left side, and you're going to do 4 3/4 to the right side. So it's basically a 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, 1/2 inch on each side, and on this side 6 inches. Okay, for the other 2 sheets, on the 9-inch side, you are going to score 6 inches. Okay, and then this next part gets a little tricky. You're going to turn it around to the 8.5 inch side, and at 3.25 inch you're just going to do a little tick mark. So don't go all the way down, just a little tick. Okay, and then at the 3.75 you're going to go all the way down. Okay, next go to 7.5/8. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. I'm not sure if that's blurry. So you're going to go 7.5/8, and you're going to go all the way down, and then you're going to do it again at 7.75, all the way down. Okay, now at 7.5 inches, I like to kind of go backwards because if I was to go all the way down, you'd do a line. But at 7.5 inches, which is just one over from the 7.5/8, right? I just like to go up to this line. And that line was the original 6 inches. Okay, so let me see if I can bring this up. So basically what I did is with this on my scoreboard, this line here is 7.5/8. The second line here is 7.75. And then what I did is I just went one notch over, which is 7.5 inches, and just went from the bottom up to that 6 inch score line. Because remember we did 6 inches this way. Okay? Hopefully I did not confuse you. If you have questions, just ask me in the comments below. Okay, now we need to do our second sheet. So again, on the 9 inch side, we're going to go 6 inches. Then you're going to flip it to the 8.5 inch side, and you're going to make a little tick mark right here at 3.25. And then you're going to come down at 3.75. Go to 7.5/8, 7.75. And what you could do is you could use, if you really wanted to, you could use a ruler at the 7.5 mark and do that. But to me, it was just easier to come up. And that worked out okay for me. Okay. All right, we are done with the scoreboard. Now we need our scissors. All right, so we're going to take our 5.25 by 11 inches paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut out from here up on each side. So this is a long side, okay? So and just to keep things straight, I'm going to use my trimmer. You could just use your scissors and cut along the line, but my lighting in here with the fluorescent lighting, it's kind of hard for me to see that because of where it's placed. So I'm going to use my my trimmer. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm just basically bringing it over to the 1/2 inch on this side. Such a long cut, to me it was just easier to use my trimmer. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little diagonal notch, and I'm just going to go from here to the corner. So it looks like that. So as you can tell, this is basically forming into a pocket. Okay. Now to cut the other ones. So on this particular one, we're going to cut from here to here. We're going to cut that square out, or rectangle I should say. And then from our 7.5 inch to here, we're going to cut that part out just up to the line. So just so you see what I'm talking about. And that's why we did that little line there. And it's hard for me to see because my lighting is not the greatest when dealing with this paper. So I'm hoping I'm going to do okay. I think I need to get one of those aught lights for my desk area because I don't have enough things on my desk as it is. Oh boy. I could have probably creased it a little bit harder, but okay. So two of these are exactly the same as far as cuts and scores. So this is what we have. We have two of these, and then we have this. Okay. Just move my papers out of the way. Next, take some sort of decorative edge. I'm using a Fiskars. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate this edge here. Okay, so with the Fiskars, and I know this is an older punch, there's a little notch there in the middle, so that's what I like to use to kind of center up my paper. So I can hopefully get the kind of same punches on all the way across the board, basically. I think my punch is getting a little dull. And then what you want to do is you want to line these up. I'm going to go to the left and I'm lining that up. Then I'm going to punch again. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it over to the right side and see how I'm kind of lining those circles up there. And then I'm ready to punch again. And it goes. See how even that is? Okay. Next, I am going to punch this edge here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line it up in the middle. I'm going to bring it over to the left first. Punch again. And then I'm going to bring it over to the right and line that up. Well, I'm trying to see it from an angle, so hopefully that's lined up. And again, see how even that is? Well, for the most part, it's even. And our last one. This punch is slipping on my glass mat. Okay. To the left, I'm going to line it up. And to the right. I feel like I'm wearing all these clothes. It's so cold. My studio is in the garage and I haven't figured out a good heat source yet. So without blowing any circuit breakers is what I would like not to do. Okay, so that's decorated. So let's work on our pocket first. So this is our pocket. You're going to fold along the score lines. Okay, and I just like to go ahead and get all my scores, my stuff folded. Okay. Next, we're going to glue the pocket together. And I like to go ahead and burnish with my bone folder. Okay, so that's one pocket. Next, to work on our flaps. So remember how we did this little 3 3/4 tick mark right there? We're going to use that as a guide to fold this down to ear this down. So I like to use my little fingernail there and just use it as a marker to fold this down. Okay. Now I will say, I should probably go and tell you, even though these are exactly like this, you want you want to take one of these and you want to flip it like this. So that way you have your flaps on the inside. Okay, so just kind of remember that. So let's go ahead and do this side so we remember. So I'm going to use that little tick mark there, and I'm just going to place my fingernail there just to kind of mark it. And I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to ear it down. Now what we want to do is we want to glue these flaps down. I wish I would have put a little bit more glue in the corner, so you might want to remember to do that when you're making yours, so that way you don't get this folding up a little bit. Okay. Now what I like to do with mine is I like to go ahead and fold these creases. When I tried putting the little booklet together and doing it then, it was a little cumbersome to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and make my creases. And then I'm going to do this side. And I don't do like a super, I don't burnish it so much because I want it to be able to fold around the booklet. Okay. Next, take this here and fold inward. Now I do burnish that. I want that to be a sharp crease. Okay. And then you're going to fold the bottom up like this. And again, another sharp crease. And then I take my little stapler and I just put a little staple in it. Okay, that's one side. And then I'm going to go ahead and clip a little back corner off. So that way it folds around the pocket nicely. Okay, so we're going to take our right side and we're going to fold this in, burnish, and then fold your bottom up. And then I like to burnish that. Okay, we're going to put a little staple in to hold it. You can do glue if you want to. Okay, and then I'm going to clip that end off a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot. And now I'm ready to add my adhesive. And I like to give it 2 swipes and take the pocket. Now when you do the pocket on here, you want to go up to that first crease. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can do this. So that first crease, you've got 1 and you've got 2. So you want to go up to it. You don't want to go into it. So you want to just kind of lay it right next to it, okay? Now we're ready to do our other side, the right side. And to me, it's easier to turn it upside down and do it. And again, the same thing, you don't want to go over that crease. You want to lay this right next to it. You want to be able to give that some room to fold over. Then what I like to do is turn it around and just give it a good burnish. And that, my friends, is it. You've got your little trifold. Okay, so you could decorate however you want. As you're going along and you're doing this, if you wanted to, you could probably go ahead and start laying whatever pattern papers you want to do. I'm doing it the hard way, obviously. Like I said, these are going to be for Valentine's, and so this is the base that I want. So I'm okay if the paper's not too, from edge to edge. So I do want some of this paper showing through. So it's going to get a little bit tricky, but if you're doing one, you could probably easily do this with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. I would think to some degree. Yeah, some double-sided pattern paper would look really nice if you get that really heavy cardstock. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the little project share. And yeah, the next video will basically be my finished project. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. Bye.